people.
Hi, people.
um, yeah, man, we back. Make sure you subscribe. iTunes, Theory of Everything, SoundCloud, Black Hat Production. Follow, like, add, slide in the DMs, all that good shit. We appreciate the support. Continue and fuck with us. So before we start, NBA is back. LeBron locked up Kawhi and motherfucking Paul George at the end of the game. Yes, I'm still a little bit hype about that. Don't mind me. Sixers play today, which is a Saturday, and NBA is back. I'm happy. I know some people are not, but I am. Duran, you don't care, right?
About what?
The NBA being
Nah, it's cool.
back. All right. Well, that's
I
cool.
mean, we
Duran
had
thinks
we had like 3 games. What is there to talk about? It's not a sports podcast. I'm
I
sure
know, not
ESPN has
to.
already beat the shit out of those 3 games. So go
Yeah,
listen to
yeah.
that.
No, just the fact that it's back in general. That's all. Not so much about the 3 games. I don't give a fuck about that. But just that we have basketball back. I'm happy about.
Yeah. Well, you kind of set it off, so yeah, I don't really have anything to add. It's back.
All right. So let's get into today's episode. The theory of privilege. I wanted to call it white privilege, but I didn't want to go that route again since last week's episode was a little too much of that. But anyway, the theory of privilege, and what I mean by that is each individual has a certain amount of privilege that they do not realize that they have. Where if you're in a relationship, somebody that you live with, which those are two separate points, but if you're in a relationship, that's a privilege to a person that is not in a relationship. If you are in a relationship and y'all live together, that is even more of a privilege for
Oh, whoa,
somebody.
whoa, whoa! Don't speed through all the topics. Basically, folks, privilege.
Okay.
This is the shit that you have to your advantage that you probably take for granted.
Mm, got it. Yes, that is correct. My mistake for just bringing them off. But yes, that is what privilege is. So, like me and Duran have talked about off air, my privilege is, well, twofold: the relationship slash living with the person in comparison to him. That is a privilege. So we'll have certain conversations where I am maybe dismissing my privilege and maybe bigging him up, and he don't really want to hear that shit
Nope.
because because he like, yeah, you got privilege. You ain't at the crib by yourself. You ain't gotta. You can pillow talk. You can wake up at the middle of the night, wake your partner up, talk about some shit. You ain't by yourself. So I had to take that in. I was like, you know what, Ryan, you are correct. That is a
That
privilege.
goes to all my relationship homies too. Like y'all don't know the thrill and danger of leaving the after kickback
Mm-hmm.
at 4:45 in the morning, falling asleep and scraping the side of your car on the median. Like if I fuck this up, especially with my personality where I go missing at times anyway, nobody's gonna find me for probably 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, no, they'll find me,
That's
but nobody's gonna know for a couple of days. Like there's nobody out here like looking for me. So I don't really want to hear all that because y'all don't know that thrill. That's something
yeah,
that
that's
you,
true.
you relationship people forget when you always bitching about how your girlfriend made you mad. Well, if you leave the party at 10:30 and you don't show up home till 11:30, somebody's concerned. I don't have that honor. If I don't get home,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get home.
And off of
But
that,
I'm a real
that's a
nigga, so
privilege
I
in itself.
always get home.
That is a privilege in itself. Having that, essentially being able to leave the after party, um, dolo, not have to worry about what my partner might think of this, not having to worry about any of that shit. Only person you got to worry about is literally yourself. That is a privilege, and that's something that me and I don't think Duran acknowledges enough because it's something that he experiences, but because of the fact that it may not be something that he sees from other people, he takes it as, oh, that's not a privilege.
Don't speak for me. I
I
didn't
know.
say I didn't acknowledge the privilege. I'm just saying I'm tired of having that privilege.
Okay.
I've said it once, I've said it again. I wanted somebody this summer to stress the hell out. Like,
Okay.
I wanted to embarrass the fuck out of somebody this summer. Like,
Okay.
niggas was just in the group chat this morning, like, oh, my girl pissed me off. I ain't getting no sleep. I was at the casino all night. Now I'm going to work. Like, I want to live that lifestyle. I want to be on marriage boot camp. All right, maybe not marriage boot camp, but like, yeah.
Yeah, if you on marriage boot camp, something went wrong.
I want some attention
All right.
for
Yes,
more than 2
but
weeks.
that's a fair point. That's a fair point. I wish I'll give you because if you've never had it, of course you're gonna want something you've never had. So I'll concede that. Um, okay, yeah, because I was gonna fight you on that, but I'm not gonna do that. Okay, what else do you think you? No, I'm not gonna do that. Confidence is a privilege that people that have it don't recognize that that is a privilege to the people that do not have it. So, confidence in yourself, confidence to achieve certain goals, that is a privilege that people don't recognize. Maybe being because of the fact that that's something that you can potentially change, but you can't expect everybody to have the same amount of confidence in yourself. Not in yourself, but the same amount of confidence that you have, they won't have in themselves for whatever the case may be. But that is a privilege. Do you agree with that?
Sure, but you're trying to loop me into this, and I don't accept it.
How I'm trying to loop you into it.
I'm just making sure. But
I'm
yeah,
not.
sure.
Yeah, I'm not looping you in. I'm just saying in general that is a privilege. Not like specific to you or something like that. Just a privilege in general that people don't necessarily recognize. Because somebody that has super high self, well, this is, I guess, kind of same thing. Self esteem is I would put in the same realm as confidence. So somebody that has super high self esteem doesn't understand somebody that has super low self esteem, which is all it's all underprivileged to me. Um, yeah. What do you consider, or what are some of the privileges that people have, or if you want to keep it specific to yourself, what is a privilege that you think you have, or a privilege you think I have that we haven't talked about? Either way.
I just want to say that life would have been simpler as a teen dad.
You
Just
keep
throwing that
saying
out
that
there. I
bullshit.
keep saying that because I'm just saying, like, I understand, like, when you fuck up like that, like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, life gets immediately harder and stranger. But also,
Mm-hmm.
once you fuck up like that, there's no expectation on you. So,
Yeah, that's
Silver
true.
Linings Playbook?
No, because there's no expectation on most people in general. The expectations more so comes from the ones you put on yourself. So if you
Nah,
have
some
high,
people got expectations.
yeah, some do. Those are people who ain't got no father figures. You know, shout out LeBron. You know, the tangible 6'8" niggas, or the niggas that run the 4 threes and shit like that. Um, but okay,
Not
I'll
even
concede
like,
that.
not
Yes.
even athletically. Like, if you smart in school or you somebody that talks well, like, there's an expectation placed on you.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that. That is valid.
If your parents are successful, like there's an expectation on you to be successful. Like if they went to school, there's probably an expectation for you to go to school.
Yeah, I agree. That's true. So yeah, that's true.
That's
But
all. I just wanted to throw that out there.
but in most cases where a lot of the times those expectations are the ones you put on yourself. So yes, it would be easier you say if you had a kid as a teenager, but you would still have the same expectations of yourself.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about from the outside. Like those
Oh, just
expectations,
from the
yeah, I got a
outside.
lot
All
of
right.
expectations on me, but they don't really change because I'm just talking about from the outside looking in. I'm just talking about privilege here.
Okay. So for
The
them,
expectations I put on myself, it don't really matter because y'all niggas don't hear me anyway, but you're gonna feel me. Please believe it.
okay, I see what you're saying. So for the outside, they be like, "Oh, he got a kid. Anybody worry about him?" All right, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, what is some privileges that you notice of yourself, me in general? Give it to me. Pause.
Give it to me, baby. Um, a ton. Well, we're both college graduates. There's some privilege in that because we're both proponents of school ain't shit, and I
Mhm.
always get fought by people who either don't have a degree or are trying to get one, and they try to explain to me like how much school is important. I'm just like, nah. They say, well, that's
Yeah,
easy for you to
the
say because you already got
meaningfulness
the
of it.
diploma.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already got your diploma, blase blah. Like, yeah, but you should listen to me. I'm telling you, like, it's not shit. Like, the debt's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not. That was
And that's in
something
any
that
field, because even if you're gonna be a doctor or something, your debt's gonna be so outrageous that, like, that's why doctors be working till they 70. Like,
yeah.
you come out of school 1 million in debt. Like,
Yeah.
it's nice you
Like
making six figures a year, but
you also got to pay a lot too, so yeah.
yeah.
No, I agree with that. That was something that I learned as I got out of college, having that privilege of having a degree, but it really not meaning shit. Like really not meaning meaning anything at all. So yeah, that's something that you find out the hard way. But yeah, I'm sorry. Continue.
Um, intelligent privilege.
Okay. Okay.
Niggas just
Talk to
naturally
me.
smart. Just saying, niggas just naturally smart. And, shout out the peanut gallery. Listen to this. It's going to say I don't qualify for this, but whatever. But people that's naturally smart and who things come easy for them, especially in school, they tend not to take it seriously.
Yeah, that's true.
As opposed to people who have to work hard for their grades. I mean, you know me. Y'all know me. Like, I'd never go to class in school. I'd be out in the quad.
Bitch ass nigga. Yeah, I know.
Damn near failed senior seminar because I missed the first 3 weeks of school because I was just like, whatever.
Mhm.
No, even back in high school, like I had teachers that was like on my head, like you need to sign up for this scholarship program, you need to do this, and like I had like some Ivy League schools that was trying to get me to come visit. I was just like, I'm not really for that. I still think I made the right decision, but that is a privilege because I noticed that like every May, like when these kids is applying to schools and shit, and they be having the big celebrations, like I got into Cornell, I got into Harvard. It's like some niggas really
Yeah.
like bust their ass to do that.
Yeah. I think the reason being is just the name. It's like it's like Nike, Pepsi. It's a name. It's a name you could trust. It's a it's a name that you know.
Oh, I
So
know why. I'm just saying I was privileged to the point where like that shit came easy to me, so I never really had to try hard.
yeah,
I
when
don't
you
need you
told me that
explaining
shit,
why niggas going there. I know why they going there. I just it's something I didn't respect. So fuck 'em.
yeah, when you told me that shit about how like niggas was skipping class or like wasn't really going and you was just with them, and then niggas was failing and you was passing, and niggas was like, why, like, how you pass? Like, oh, nigga, I took the test, or I did whatever I had to do. And yeah, like, nah, man. Everybody can't do that. Everybody cannot do that. So, like, even in college, this nigga casually just was didn't even buy books or anything like that, and just had the grades. Like, no nothing. Like, no, didn't have to study, didn't have to do nothing, just automatically pass. Like, yeah, that was a huge privilege. I hated that shit coming from a nigga that had to put in effort for the most part. So
It's
yeah.
all pattern recognition, man. I keep telling you guys that. It's all pattern recognition.
But nobody recognizes the pattern, nigga. If they did, if they did, then it would be a lot easier for a lot of people. But yes, for you,
Most of y'all not looking for the pattern, though.
okay, because we don't even know what to look for. That's the point.
Like, one of these days down, I'm going to sit the young niggas down, and I'm going to explain to you exactly how to do it. And it's going to make perfect sense.
Okay. Maybe so. Maybe you should have a seminar about that with the young niggas about what to look for in college and how to make it easier on yourself. Sure, but for the niggas that already is out of this shit and was in there struggling, shout out Ford. Uh, yeah, we don't want to hear. We don't want to hear that shit now. No, I don't. I don't want to hear that shit now. Talking about a goddamn pattern. That shit don't mean nothing. Shit. Okay. So for me, there's a light skin privilege, Duran.
I wouldn't know nothing about that. And this video is being recorded. They can see my beautiful chocolate skin. Y'all
They
me?
can see
Y'all me? Like
you gonna
goddamn
put a
Morris
filter
Chestnut
on,
in this
nigga.
bitch. Looking like young
This nigga
Morris.
gonna put a
Ricky!
This nigga gonna have a filter on the video. But nah, I don't wanna hear that shit. Light skin privilege. Me and Duran had an in-depth conversation about that throughout the week. And yes, that is a privilege in order to get certain things from a relation, not even a relationship, but as far as bagging women specifically, is a light skin privilege. After hearing the short periods of time that it took Duran to get certain things, and the average, I think, is a lot higher than what he's giving it credit for by saying, "Oh, everybody like this." Nigga, no, everybody is not like this. Now,
First,
I
wait,
will not.
do not butcher my words. I said everybody in this day and age is like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, everybody in this day and age is like that. And my retort was, "Fuck out of here." No, everybody is not like that in this day and age because everybody don't have that same privilege. Like, shout out Bumani, two Americas. So no, everybody, everybody don't have that same privilege that you speaking of right now. Now, I'm also not in the game, so I might have a blind spot when it comes to that. But
You do.
from what I've seen, from maybe so, from what I've seen from other people that are in and out of the streets, it don't seem to be as easy as, you know, hypothetically being in the crib during quarantine, pop out, you know, easy. I don't think it happens like that for most people. That's my thoughts about it. But you know, I'm okay with saying that I could potentially be wrong. I don't think I am, but who knows?
Look, man, Deion Waiters came off the bench with 17.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
I don't know what part of the argument I'm making with that, but it just seemed like the right thing to say at the time.
Yeah, you're right. He did. Lou Will, you know, he get out here getting starter minutes off the bench, you know, and in Magic City. So, yeah, you're right. But that don't take away from what my point is. There's a privilege that you have and the others in the light skinned delegation have as well. I just want you to acknowledge it. That's all.
If I was truly light skinned, I would. Y'all
Okay.
trying to paint it like I'm
Okay.
like Michael Ealy or something out here. Like, in my mind, I'm like I said, I'm like young Morris.
You like Michael Ealy with a tan.
Now you're going too far. Now you're going too far. I got two black parents, first of all, which is a privilege in the black population.
Yeah, that is a privilege. That is
And I know
definitely a
both of them.
privilege.
That's another privilege.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact because you might have two parents, but you may not know them both. So yeah, that's true. Um, yeah, that's a hell of privilege. So, which we don't necessarily always acknowledge. So, but yeah, that is. Um, what else you got?
Athletic privilege
Unless you want to dispute my, what you say?
and everything that I said, athletic privilege and everything that comes along with that. As a athlete coming up, I never really had to, and I'm sure you can say the same. Never really had to worry about like making friends or having shit to do.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
especially somebody from me who moved school after school after school.
Hmm.
I was never in a situation where it was like I gotta go out and make friends because I automatically have a group of 100 niggas that I know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's very beneficial.
And all the shit that comes with that. I mean, all the social skills that come with that, all the status that could come with that, especially if you were part of some good teams like I was.
Bitch ass niggas. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you get that acknowledgement probably around your town and shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's valid. But yeah, that's something that's a good privilege because like somebody that like for instance, like my kids will probably end up having to do fucking cyber school for the year because of obviously the quarantine and pandemic and all that shit. So good thing about them is they've done competitive cheerleading currently do that, so they don't have to worry about like not having friends or not having like other kid interactions and shit like that. So that's a privilege that I'm happy about because there's some people out here that don't do no sports and it's awkward as fuck and potentially call bomb threats on the Special Olympics and shit like that. So it's it's good. So yeah, definitely that is a positive privilege. Do you think there are any negative privileges?
White privilege.
That's a fact.
I mean, all privileges can be bad. Well, first of all, the thing about privileges, you never know you have it until someone points it out. It's kind of like you said, a blind spot. So it could potentially be a negative because you're disregarding something that could be helpful.
Hmm.
But I specifically said white privilege just because some of y'all be tripping.
Yeah.
And just things that get said and done sometimes. I'm just like, I don't even know how you feel like entitled to say that. Like we talked about like last week, we don't need to get into it again, but even feeling comfortable enough to tell a black person that like, hey, you probably shouldn't use the N word, like that's mighty bold.
Yeah.
And I mean, well, fuck, it's 2 weeks ago. I'm still talking about it because that shows you how much it bothered me. Like,
Yeah.
so, for whoever thought my reaction was like over the top, it could have been way worse.
Yeah. It's just the audacity of that shit. Like, how you gonna say like, oh, like that? I don't think there's like, I'm not racist, so that's not. There's no racism anymore, or things are equal, or there's equality, and like, what do you like? I understand people live in their own world, but like you like niggas just be in their own world like a motherfucker. Like just the
Yeah.
audacity and the thought process of that shit. Like that fact that some people think Black Lives Matter mean like something else, like something where like, oh, I thought it's all lives matter. It's like shut the fuck up. Like just the audacity of that shit. Like the retorts to those things during this time just sound fucking stupid. Like,
Yeah, and just because you may not be out here like actively hating
yeah,
like people or like you participating in like racist acts,
yeah,
at the end of the day, if you're white, you still have benefited from white privilege in the past.
yeah,
Like it's a systematic thing, like, and that doesn't make you a shitty person for it, but you should acknowledge that like it happened.
yes,
The
like
same way like we as men have to acknowledge like our male privilege.
exactly. Like that's the important thing is to acknowledge when somebody is telling you that has not had that privilege that hey, this is a privilege. Don't retort it back. No, I don't agree. Like you're fucking wrong. Like it's that simple. Like you're wrong. Acknowledge the fact that yes, I have a privilege. Like Duran said, that don't make you a shitty person. What makes you a shitty person is not acknowledging it or completely disregarding it.
Yeah. Like,
That's
oh
what
no,
makes you
that
a
can't be
shitty person.
me.
Yeah, that's what makes you a shitty person. And yeah, so yeah, that
like
yeah, I agree with that.
well, back to my joke about the coming home from the after kickback at like 4:45 in the morning. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel comfortable walking the streets drunk
Yeah,
that time of night slash morning.
yeah.
Like women can't do that. That's a
No,
privilege I
no,
have to
they can't.
acknowledge.
No. Yeah, I mean, also the whole privilege where like if you look a certain way and like they have, or that's like when the cat calling and let me try to get at you and shit like that's something that attractive women got to deal with, like so
Mm-hmm.
shit. I mean light skins too, Nepal's. I mean, Duran, you deal with that, don't you?
Do what?
Cat calling, yo, I like your hair, nigga.
I wish a nigga would. Wish I would. You damn cat called. Knowing me, I probably like that shit.
Nigga,
I'm a
turn back
ra-
and smile.
I'm a raging egomaniac. Give me all the attention.
No, but I mean, from like women, you got the long locks, so I'm sure women might be like, hey, you look good today. You got the pink, pink on.
They mostly just call me gay for wearing pink, and women cat calling me don't really affect me because like at the end of the day, like you're not willing to like date me, so it's like get out of my face.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
But
yeah.
again, I guess you say that's part of my privilege. The
Yeah.
fact that I can go right to the relationship part because the other part comes easy to me.
Yeah.
Which I don't think it comes that easy to me.
Nigga, it comes easy to you. It comes very easy to you. Comes easy to the point where you don't even have to think about it. You just know it's going to happen.
I don't know anything, man. The things you want are usually chasing you. Let it happen.
That's true. That's a bar, and that's
And I
true.
mean, if we really talking about it, like if you really